Where question kind of, it's just a very surprising question. You don't expect. So when you're thinking of the goal, where is the goal? Or when you're thinking of the problem, where is the problem?
Hmm. Hi, Bhavana. Hello, Mr.
Is.
Octopus.
Oh, yeah.
Always smiling.
Yes, he is. Hello, Sana, and hello to our viewers.
How are you
Good.
doing?
Yes, I am good. There's going to be rain very soon, and I can see the clouds moving across the sky, and it's
Mhm.
darkening. And it's a
It's
very
same here.
interesting
We have
movement.
it was a lot of sun yesterday, and now today we have clouds and it will rain soon.
It'll rain soon.
I have
Yeah.
some questions, Bhavana, regarding MSP,
Yeah.
space psychology, and how we can use it for the coaches. Like from the coaches' perspective, and especially for the new coaches, because they are exposed to a lot of tools and everyone claims that all the tools are super good, and then it's a confusion being a coach which to use. So I have used myself mental space psychology, and I've seen that it is a very powerful tool, and there is no other way than to talk to my teacher and the coach herself to give more idea about how we can use it as a coach to know the how and location of the problem when we are dealing with our clients.
Yeah. Thank you, Sana, for this conversation. I know these days, coaches have got a lot of tools in their hands, which is wonderful. I think more the tools, the better it is because you don't know what works in what circumstance. Uh, I consider spatial therapeutics as a tool that is both easy for coaches to use as well as very engaging for the clients. Um, and the how of the problem, or rather the where of the problem, is a very interesting question, right? So, for a client coming in, they may be used to, what is the issue, what is the problem, what is the goal that they want to achieve, what they want to improve. And in that process, they're more interested in how they are thinking about the issue. And there is a script in that thought. Uh, the where question kind of, it's just a very surprising question. You don't expect. So when you're thinking of the goal, where is the goal? Or when you're thinking of the problem, where is the problem?
Hmm.
It's an interesting kind of question. And it's even more interesting because when the location is noticed, is observed by the client, there is an immediate engagement, right? So you're noticing it, and then now you're in a relationship with it in which the client can be an active participant rather than talking about the problem in the abstract, where you have no sense of a difference between you and the problem, and you just think, you're just either immersed in the problem, or you feel you are the problem, or there's just so many kind of stories that come with it. uh, and noticing the where of the problem or the where of your goal or purpose is not a very difficult kind of a process. And let me give our viewers a small experience. So as South Asians, most of us are used to tropical fruits. So if I were to think, I invite all of you to think about mango and feel the feeling you have for mango. And as you feel the feeling, where do you notice it in the space around you? You will see perhaps an image. For some of you, it'll be very clear. Like for me, there's an immediate image of the mango right here. It's small, and there's light falling on it, and it's this yellow, orange kind of mango. And for you, Sana, you also smile.
So for
So,
me, it's also really in the front. It's a really a big mango because I'm used to from where I come from, the big,
yeah.
mangoes and yellow and green, really
Ah, you have the
fresh
yellow and green,
sour
right?
mangoes.
Yeah. I noticed that in mine there was a yellow and a red, and it had this little tailish
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
this one on this side and the bulk on that side, and light falling on it. And was
yeah.
there,
Lead. light falling on it. Yeah.
You also had light falling on
Light
it.
falling on it, and it was really close and big
Yeah,
mango.
it was close, and yes. So I invite all the viewers here, when you are noticing your mango, notice where is it located, in the front, maybe it's on the right, maybe here. For some people, it's cut mangoes in a little bowl. For some, it is in a fork in their mouth. Different people experience it. But you will notice that there is a space, a location in which that mango is located. And it's not just that. It is that the size of the mango, which means it's occupying that amount of space in that area, right? Maybe if it is cut pieces, I have had clients who have cut pieces of mango, and it's small and it's close and it's occupying small area, and that is exactly how they are observing it. So it's not very difficult, right? In seconds, when you do this, you can notice it, because our thoughts, it's been found that we think in metaphors. If we are thinking in metaphors, and it's not even a single metaphor, it's a metaphoric landscape. When we think in terms of metaphoric landscape, then any kind of metaphor also necessarily has to have the spatial dimension of it, right? So, whether it is, if you think of love and rose, love is like a rose, and then you notice the rose occupies, right? It has a spatial dimension to it. So, everything that we know, from people we love and people we dislike, to our animals and our plants, and our your children and our loved ones, and books that we love, and objects that we love, and flowers that we love, and activities that we love. Just about everything we know seems to occupy some place in the mental space. And it becomes a very simple way to kind of engage with something, rather than just in the
Yeah.
head.
And I also feel like for people, for the clients themselves, it's like a revelation of something that they discovered. Oh my God, there is a 3D representation of
Mm.
every object, every person in my mind. And
Yes.
that location is so important, for their own, to know themselves, like how do I exist or I'm being,
Yeah.
and then I also noticed lately, like I play around with mental space objects and things that the location changes,
Mm.
the pictures get updated,
Yes.
and yeah, and sometimes they're moving images instead of fixed, yeah, pictures.
Yes. This work of noticing this, where something is located, it's not a fixed piece. It is,
No,
it is for so long, whatever those experiences, when you're called to, it occupies a certain location, which is dependent on how you're feeling about,
yeah.
the quality of your relationship. So currently, I love mango. So there
Mm,
is a particular way in which the mango is showing up. But I have to say, there was a time I was crazier about mango. And
mm,
now I'm more tempered. So I like mangoes very much, but I'm no longer gluttonous about mangoes like I was just few years back. So I have noticed that my image of the mango has actually shifted. There was a time it wouldn't be just a single mango, I would have a bunch of mangoes right in front of me. And I'm literally drooling the moment I see it. Now I can see that my response to the mango is more tempered. And that is the thing, that these are not fixed kind of locations. They are
no,
updated by our experiences, the change in the way we are thinking about an issue, the changes that have happened in other places with regards to how I consider food or how I consider something I like. Everything makes a difference, and your map is constantly being updated. And just
yeah.
the
It's
awareness
so
of that.
alive, right? It's not like, as you always say, map is not the territory,
Yeah.
and it's a representation. And then your own 3D map or mental map is also very alive and active and constantly changing.
Exactly. And map is not the territory, Korzybski's famous quote is about a map is not the territory of that moment.
Yes.
And the next moment, that map can shift based on whatever, inputs or shifts that is happening in the way we are paying attention. So it makes for a very fascinating way by which at one time you can recognize, the map, which is literally the neurolinguistics of it, which means the 3D representation of it. And at the same time, it is also indicating that it is, since it's not static, it's not the truth, it's literally inviting you to update it, just by inviting you to pay attention to how it is, also allows you to notice it in a different way.
Yes. And it's a wonderful piece as a coach that, okay, you get a view inside your client's world, and then you can also see the progress they're making based on those locations. Is that true, Bhavna? Can we
Yes. And
monitor that? Okay, are they really feeling good? Are they really getting better? And where are they now? How are they doing now? Because sometimes for some people, the words are not like words is not their powerful tool to express themselves. And then as a coach, how do we do our job?
yeah, you know what, Sana? I remember the example you had shared with me about the lady health coach or somebody in the health field. Would you share that for our viewers?
Yes. So one of my powerful lady, yeah, the super active one. So she is into health and fitness, super active, lifestyle. And she was struggling with the business at that moment. And she was putting a lot of effort consciously, and it was draining a lot of energy and not generating the results that she wanted to see. And then she was doing everything right, you know, doing all the courses, picking up or marketing, reaching out people, the best of the best efforts. She will do it. She's very hardworking. But the amount of energy she was putting, it was draining her. And then the results were not coming as she expected. And then when we saw the location of the object that represents her business, it was a health weighing machine.
Uh-huh.
And then the weighing machine, and I asked her, can you see your weighing machine? And then she was like, yeah, I can see it. And I'm like, where is it? Is it in front of you, left in your left or right? She's like, no, it's down on the floor in my room. Okay. And where it is, it's really in the corner in the left. Can you see it, with your eyes closed? Is it in front of you? So it wasn't in front of her view, like she could see her daughter, like her, not the daughter, like the kids, or everything, like a family, or everything was just her vision of herself in the next 5 years, 10 years. But the business was not in the vision, and it was just so much down, and that it was constantly taking her energy to remember, to work on it, to do the things, because it was not in front of her.
Yeah.
And when we changed the location of that object, which represents her business, it became, a relief and ease. Okay, I can see it. It was like now in her, I would say, consciousness, and she doesn't have to use a lot of her energy to remember about it.
And Sana, if I can follow up, how did you recognize that the change had happened? I mean, you did the process and the location
Yeah,
changed,
so we
and
did
then.
follow-up sessions, and then I saw her, she never complained back on those things again. And
Mm,
she's happy and posting, and yeah, the results that you were expecting.
mhm.
Okay. I mean, you make plans, and then there's something still going towards your plans, which is
Right.
already good. So she's happy with where
Right.
she is right now.
And viewers, this is very important to note. Once an issue has been resolved, the way you will know change has happened is they're not coming back with the same problem, right? So maybe they're coming back with a new problem or some other issue that has emerged to awareness, but the old loop has calmed down. It's no longer, is the one that is creating the problem. And Sana has provided us such a beautiful example, and which may be true for some of the viewers who are also coaches and therapists. So let me invite all the coaches and therapists who are watching, if you are also having some issues about your business or some aspect of your professional life, take a moment right now to feel that feeling that you have about whatever the thing that is bothering you, and take a moment to connect with it. And as you connect with it, think of a representation that is a representation for your that professional work that you do. And as you feel that feeling, where do you notice that representation? Yeah. And so, folks, you just might notice wherever it is. Sometimes it may be right front, but too close. And so maybe you're experiencing something. And just notice, you don't have to do anything. Just the noticing is important. So, is it located very close up there? Is it located up here looking down at you? Is it located far away on the side and you can't see it? Is it down like Sana's client, where the weighing machine was below? Is it below your eye level? And just ask yourself as you notice it, what are you learning in this moment? What are you learning in this moment? Yeah. I remember a client, Sana, who was just brilliant. He was very creative, very talented young man. And he was frustrated that his work was not progressing. And in that particular work that he was doing, there were two pieces. One piece was that he loved doing, he just loved it. And the other, which had to do with negotiating with people who would give him the funding, that was an irritation for him. And he used to be very stressed and tensed about it. So, what we did was to just elicit the locations of both these aspects, the aspect that he loved doing and the aspect of negotiation. So he noticed that the aspect of negotiation was right in front of him, right there. And he could sense all that feeling. And the thing that he loved doing was on this side. And he could see himself like really radiant and happy. And I said, you see what you're doing. That which you love is right here, and that which you're irritated about, you keep in front, right? And your orientation of work is exactly just this. So for the coaches and therapists and others who are watching, it's just do the noticing. You don't have to go into anything further. Just notice and ask yourself, what is this telling me? What is this telling me?
I would note that question.
Yeah. And coaches and therapists, all the viewers who are watching, if you have experienced this and you have a comment, please put it down on below our video. And if you have questions also, you can put it down, and if it's possible, we will respond to it.
Yeah. Or we might make another video, with
Exactly. We
new
could make another
questions.
video based on your question, which can take us somewhere else. So we hope that you enjoyed this small exploration of the where
Yeah.
questions. Sana, how was the experience for you?
I think it was really great, Bhavna. Always great talking to you. There's always some light bulb moment, even if I
It's-
get 10 or 15 minutes of talking to you. So it's really, I'm leaving with this question, sometimes they don't have to go away with the answers or the solutions. You just let them sit and marinate in that space and let them view. And then sometimes, there are things which are coming up later, and
yes.
that's okay. You leave them there, that okay, even if nothing is coming up, that's okay.
Yeah.
You just ask yourself that, what is it that telling me, what is it, what do I think of it, and how is it important?
Exactly. Thank you, Sana. And it's something that's been useful for me too in thinking about my work and the way I'm focusing, because we all have our habits of perception, right? And it's always nice to notice, okay, where is the location and what's happening there, and just to notice these other aspects of it just brings in the aha moment. So,
Yeah, I
wow.
think this awareness of just having, noticing will automatically help your unconscious mind to take some actions which are unconscious to you. That I've
Very
noticed
true.
in my all the inner work that I have done so far,
Yeah.
that I am thinking, oh, I need to do this and I need to do that and I need to change that. But once it is there, in my awareness, somehow it's automatically coming up and changing things, without even my own conscious effort. And I'm like wondering, okay, how is that happening? Something has shifted.
Yes, yes. You bring in a very important point, and that is true for all the viewers too, that there isn't much that has to be done if you can just bring in your attention wholly to whatever you're noticing and let it just marinate. The unconscious also does a lot of beautiful work to shift it as you need it organically. So we hope we will receive your comments and questions, and um, happy experiencing of your space.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bhavna. It's
Thank you,
always
Sana.
lovely to chat with you. Yeah.
Same here, Sana. It was wonderful.